LeBron James publicly endorses an anti-ICE song by Grammy winner, echoing national fury after Minneapolis fatal shootings. In what has quickly become one of the most talked about social moments in sports and culture this year, NBA superstar LeBron James has publicly endorsed a powerful protest song condemning federal immigration enforcement actions in Minneapolis. His support for the track has ignited fresh conversation around justice, activism, and the role of athletes in political movements, and it has captured national attention. This isn't your typical celebrity retweet. LeBron's endorsement of this song, written by rock legend Bruce Springsteen, a multiple Grammy Award winner, comes amid widespread outrage after two fatal shootings by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) agents in Minneapolis that sparked protests and national fury. Today, we're breaking down what happened, why Springsteen's protest song struck a chord, how LeBron amplified its message, and what this moment means in the broader social and cultural landscape. The Minneapolis shootings that sparked outrage. At the heart of this story are two tragic incidents in Minneapolis that have shaken communities and sparked intense debate across the country. In early January 2026, Renee Good, a 37-year-old Minneapolis resident, was fatally shot by ICE officers during immigration enforcement operations. A few weeks later, another Minneapolis resident, Alex Pretty, an ICU nurse, was also killed by federal agents in circumstances that ignited even broader outrage. These deaths, shared widely on social media through eyewitness videos, contradicted initial government narratives and fueled protests. Demonstrators described the federal agents' actions as unjustified and dangerously excessive, while critics questioned the expansion of aggressive enforcement operations in civilian neighborhoods. The shootings unleashed a torrent of condemnation from athletes, activists, and celebrities, with calls for accountability and justice echoing across social platforms. NBA figures like Victor Wembanyama, Tyrese Halliburton, and others publicly expressed horror and demanded change, joining a small but growing chorus of voices in professional sports speaking out against what they saw as needless violence. Bruce Springsteen's protest song, a cultural response. In the midst of this national tension, legendary musician Bruce Springsteen released a protest song titled Streets of Minneapolis. The track was written and recorded in record time, reportedly within 48 hours, directly responding to the shootings and the unfolding protests in the city. Springsteen's song is a raw, impassioned piece that decries what he described as state terror being visited on the city and criticizes the policies and agents involved in the federal operation. Drawing parallels to his classic protest work, the song memorializes Good and Pretty by name and paints a stark portrait of the violence and turmoil gripping Minneapolis. The lyrics condemn not only the killings but also political leaders and officials associated with the enforcement actions. Springsteen's work joins a long tradition of artists using music to challenge authority and prompt reflection, from folk and rock protest songs of the 1960s to modern anthems of social upheaval. The song quickly became a focal point of discussion online and in the media, as listeners connected the emotional weight of the music with the urgency of the moment. Its release at a time of heightened tension made it a rallying cry for many demonstrators and observers. LeBron James amplifies the message. Enter LeBron James. Widely known not just for his greatness on the basketball court but for his willingness to speak out on social and political issues, LeBron took to social media to endorse Springsteen's song. His support wasn't passive, it was a clear and public amplification of the protest message embedded in the track. For many fans and followers, LeBron's endorsement was more than a celebrity shout-out. It was a signal that the cultural conversation around these shootings extends far beyond local or regional outrage. It's a national moment. This isn't the first time LeBron has used his massive platform to highlight social issues. Throughout his career, he has weighed in on racial injustice, police violence, voting rights, and more, often sparking widespread dialogue. Fans and critics alike see his involvement here as part of a larger pattern. Athletes aren't confined to sports commentary alone, they're now central voices in cultural and political discourse. Why this moment resonates so deeply? To understand why LeBron's endorsement is such a big deal, you have to look at the broader context. In recent years, public figures using their platforms to comment on social issues has become increasingly common and increasingly controversial. When celebrities speak out on sensitive topics like law enforcement, immigration policy, or national politics, responses often split sharply along ideological lines. What makes this moment particularly striking is the intersection of several powerful forces. Real and tragic loss of life, two deaths that many view as preventable, have already stirred deep emotional reactions nationwide. Music as protest. Springsteen's song connects cultural expression with political critique in a way that's historically resonant and emotionally engaging. Athlete voices in social justice. LeBron's role elevates the conversation, bringing attention from sports fans who might not otherwise engage with protest music or political discourse. Because of this confluence, The reaction isn't just about a song or a tweet, it's about what they represent to millions of Americans who feel their voices are not being heard in traditional political spaces. Critics and supporters both weigh in. Not everyone agrees with Springsteen's song or LeBron's endorsement. Critics argue that artists and athletes should stay out of politics or that such statements oversimplify complicated issues. Government spokespeople have even dismissed protest songs and celebrity commentary as irrelevant or inaccurate. Yet supporters argue that when injustice occurs, silence is not an option, especially for public figures whose voices reach millions. For them, LeBron's endorsement isn't controversial, it's courageous. It's a modern example of how cultural influence can help spotlight issues that might otherwise receive limited attention. What this means going forward. Whether you agree or disagree, LeBron's endorsement of this anti-ICE song underscores a major shift in how public dialogue unfolds in America. Sports icons, musicians, and entertainers are no longer on the sidelines of major social debates, they're active participants. And platforms like social media amplify every statement, making even a single endorsement headline news. As protests continue and discussions around federal policy and law enforcement grow more intense, moments like this one contribute to the evolving landscape of activism and cultural expression. Final thoughts. LeBron James publicly endorsing a protest song by a Grammy-winning artist isn't just a news story, it's a cultural touchpoint. It reflects the power of music, the influence of athletes, and the urgency of national conversations sparked by tragedy. Whether this moment becomes a lasting part of LeBron's legacy off the court or simply another headline in a fast-moving news cycle, one thing is clear. In moments of national turmoil, voices, loud ones, matter more than ever.